Let's bring in our panel right now, Florida businessman, lawyer, and GOP strategist Ford O'Connell, and host of Money Talk with Melanie and Project 21 member Melanie Collette. Thank you both for joining us. Hopefully you were able to catch some of what the former president had to say on Saturday night. Melanie, I'll start with you and your thoughts.
I miss 45. Just saying. I miss 45. Just wonderful. And just somebody who loves the country as opposed to the administration that we have now, who I think, I hate to sound like this, but do they hate us? Do they hate Americans? Like, you hate lower prices for consumers, you hate low gas prices, you hate having the country be safe, you hate low crime. Like, I don't understand what the agenda is for this administration. You have a President Trump who clearly loved the country, and say what you want about his mean tweets about him being petty, which at this point, I think is comical, and really was his way of manipulating people and getting in people's heads. I'm truly convinced. But his policies were all pro-American, all pro the citizens of America and America first. And I just missed that agenda, and I missed the direct communication of President Trump. And it was just really refreshing and encouraging and exciting.
Yeah, speaking of communication, supposedly President Biden is going to have a press conference on Wednesday, unless that's changed. That was announced last week. Ford, your thoughts? I really liked how the president wrapped things up, talking about how we need to start talking about American greatness again.
Well, President Trump hasn't lost a beat. He looked relaxed. He sounded great. He's absolutely right. The country's going to hell under Joe Biden, and we need to focus on the economy, end the mandates, become energy independent again and not dependent on OPEC. And he's absolutely right when it comes to hammering open borders. Literally, the entire world is flooding into the United States. In fact, it's easier to break in the United States illegally than it is to eat in a restaurant in New York City or D.C. And by the way, hat tip to Newsmax for broadcasting the rally. There is nothing like a Trump rally if you've never been. And I tell people, you got to go because it's something you really need to experience.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He spoke for at least, I think it was an hour and a half on Saturday night, and his energy level, and he goes off script. He was, saluting a veteran in the crowd, and you could never see the current president be able to do that, I don't believe, Melanie.
There is nothing more fun than a Trump rally. I agree with Ford on that. I've been to many concerts in my day of my favorite artists, and number one on my list thus far of any big event is a Trump rally. It was just fantastic, so much fun.
And finally, Ford, just to wrap it up, he definitely didn't mince words when he was talking about Mitch McConnell and how he feels about, going forward in terms of 2022 and what Republicans need to do.
Well, he's absolutely right. President Trump knows that we have to take back the Congress. That starts with the House and hopefully the Senate. And if Republicans are put in charge of the Senate again, we cannot be led going forward by Mitch McConnell. We need new leadership, new blood, and someone who puts the America First agenda at the front of the Senate platform. So, President Trump is absolutely right. It's one thing to put Republicans back into power, but you have to give them a direction. And these rallies help give Republicans direction about what's best for the country.
Yeah, and just look at that shot of all the folks that were there behind him. When you talk about unity and unifying, just look at the crowd that's there. I mean, this is something that the current administration said that they would do. They would unify this country. And at least in my opinion, they're doing everything but that. And they have problems across the board when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to domestic policy. We talk about it every single day, and you see the result in the falling poll numbers. Ford O'Connell, Melanie Collette, thank you both very much for joining me today.